Alrighty, says we're live. Sorry, my lips were chapped. Hello, happy 4th of July. For those of you who are American, happy Sunday for those of you who are not. But feel free to use this excuse to have a barbecue or, watch some fireworks or something. One thing that Americans are known for is being very welcoming in our celebrations. It's like, yeah, sure, come on over. It's a barbecue. Just that kind of thing. So, welcome to a Sunday edition of Writing Sprints and hopefully Productivity. And happy 4th of July. I did go get a box of corn dogs, so I will be having corn dogs for dinner, or with dinner, so that I can finally satisfy my craving for corn dogs that I have been thinking about for weeks now. And I got the State Fair brand, so hey, no cheapos for me, because sometimes if you get a corn dog and the dog inside it is not good, so but I'm sure it will be very, very satisfying to finally have that little itch scratched. So I'm hoping that I can get some work done. I have not actually pulled any of the cards for today, so I should probably do that. But I hope that your camp is going well. I hope that we are progressing along the lines that we would like to. Okay, so today we have the Fox Spirit. Think on your feet. So being flexible, being creative, perhaps dodging something that is tossed your way or your character's way. So you may have to improvise and find a solution for whatever it is that is either bothering you or bothering your characters. So thinking on your feet. Okay, let's... Top card. 10 of Swords. Okay. 10 of Swords. And the 10s are always sort of like completion cards in a lot of ways. But this is kind of a card of overkill. Crimes of passion. Possibly gossip and backstabbing, but this is a card that lets you know it's okay now that you have figured out what the crime is, now that you've heard the gossip or the backstabbing, experienced that, etc., etc. It's now time to let it go. You can now lay this down and move on. So whether or not that applies to you or to your character. Okay, and then we have the Ace of Swords showing new beginnings. So there you go. You can now let go of whatever it was that you discovered that was not so good, and move to a new section of your life. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles. Prosperity, fertility, always with the queens. Prosperity in particular with the Pentacles. Nice. That's actually a really good, wealth, security, generosity. So, be the generous person, let go of whatever it was, and you will be better for it. So, there you go. Natural healing, or healing of the mind and whatnot. So, good cards. I like that. Thinking on your feet to sort of be able to let go of whatever the situation is. I don't know if these cards are appropriate for you or appropriate for your characters. Again, this is just fun times, but also an exercise in creativity for me, trying to figure out how I'm going to incorporate some of these elements into my story, or how they might resonate with me for the day. So there you go. So those are the things I have been trying to start with the doing some of the World Anvil world building summer camp prompts. I finished one of them, but I've got a couple more that I'm kind of working on, and that's in addition to trying to flesh out the scenes that I had kind of earmarked for myself. So like I think it was Friday, I pulled Cheater McCheaterson's card, the Knight of Cups in verse. And I had a scene for him in mind that I needed to write. But for today, I don't necessarily have a particular character in mind with any of these particular cards. The aces are indicative of a particular couple for me. But I don't necessarily have something for them today. I could work on them today. So maybe that's what I'll do. I don't know. Let me say hello. I've been like chattering for a while, but let me say hello to the chat. Kalante is here. Hello. Happy 4th of July, and early bird catches the worm. Yes. And Christina says hello. And hope we are enjoying the 4th. Yes. Yep. Kai says hello. Heya, how you doing? And how is everybody? Is everyone working on camp projects? I am attempting, because both of my main projects are counting towards my camp goals. Claude says hello. Welcome. Mallory is here. Hello. And Petra is here. Hello. And Kai is also working on your camp project today. Kalante wants to know what it is about. Mallory says, I'm making lunch as you realized it was 2 in the afternoon, and the only thing you've eaten is a banana at 9:30 in the morning. Yeah, I would say definitely eat something. You have great willpower. I know. Well, and that was like the thing is, like, you can't really just go buy one because they come in a box of multiple. So I was like, I don't really know that I'm going to want like a whole box full of them, but oh well. I'd have them now. Bananas are yummy. Yes, they are. And Daya is here. Hello. Welcome. And says hi to Kai. And Kalante says, camp here is going pretty well. You plan on working on the last chapter today. You're not done with the story, but you've outlined every chapter. Gotcha. Nice. And Kai says to Kalante, it's a fantasy cyberpunk. Ooh, where the guardians of the world are supposed to come and heal it after war has poisoned the world, but the creatures of the world don't want them to come. And so they build cyborgs to combat them. Interesting. Nice. Kai says hello to Daya and asks how you been, and Daya says writing, which is always good. So Kai wants to know what Kalante's is about. Courtney is here. Hello. Vacationing has you a little behind on camp. That's okay. And you're playing catch up today. That is fair. And Elizabeth is here. Hello. Welcome. You love that we draw the cards at the beginning of the stream. I think it's been fun, and it's definitely, it was something that I think I started somewhat with October of last year, and then I kind of like teetered off for a little bit. And then when I got the animal spirit cards, I picked back up again. So they are definitely fun, and sort of they're just nice. I like them, and sometimes they can resonate real hard. So Kalante is working on a fanfic this camp. You definitely need to get your together and outline an original story. You can, yes. Miriam says, it's 9 p.m. here. Just had a quick dinner after work. You must finish crocheting a border on a small baby blanket, and then you can start writing. Excellent. Well, hopefully that goes well. Elizabeth is on 150 words of 750 today. You can't let that go. Gotcha. Kalante is writing a fanfic for the movie 13. So you're doing a sort of what if scenario. Nice. Siwi is here. Hello. Welcome. Yes. And Kelly is here. Hello. Good afternoon. And CB is working on a Marvel fanfic. That is, yes, your favorite universe. So Megan is, excuse me, sorry. Let me take a sip of my water. Megan says, I'm working on a story about a woman who's kept a secret for 57 years until Alzheimer's has her accidentally reveal the secret to her granddaughter. Very nice. I want to ask you what the secret is, but I will not ask for spoilers. Nice screenplay this time. Excellent. All right, let's go ahead and get set up for the first sprint. Since it is Sunday, I know that HK has been putting out new timers, so we are going to be using one of, actually probably multiple, multiple of HK's timers. We'll start with a 15 to get us warmed up. That way we can have time to find our favorite pens and notebooks and open documents and all that kind of stuff. So don't forget to save if you have already been working today. If you have not been working today, make sure you go ahead and pull your document up. 2, make sure that you have something to hydrate with. I have water by my side. And 3, make sure that you straighten your spine and roll your shoulders back for a posture check. And 4, make sure that if you need a break, take a break. Those are your reminders. And we can now get started. We have this new timer from HK. And it says, today is your opportunity to build the tomorrow that you want. And that's a quote from Ken Poirot, which is very nice. I like that quote. Also, this background of the sky at either sunrise or sunset was the inspiration for the thumbnails that I just created in the last 30 minutes or so for next week's stream. So yay, and thank you for that inspiration, HK. All right, we can now get started. 15 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! All right, that was the first sprint. I think I got about somewhere between 200 and 300. I forgot to like check and see what it was before I started writing. Sorry. I have no exact number to give you, but I also did a little bit of things in my bullet journal and in my planner. Not much in the bullet journal at the moment because I'm attempting to focus more on my planner at the moment, and trying to get used to using it and how I would like to be organized with it. It was a little chaotic this week for sure. Because I wasn't sure entirely how I wanted to use it. So I just kind of had like all over the place stuff. And like my to-do lists were sort of scattered everywhere, and I didn't really care for that. I like being able to consistently like look. And I've not had a planner that was separated, that was one vertical planning and separated into 3 sections before. And so I have set up next week's sort of like the top section to be my morning routine and some of the to-do list things. So there's that. And I think I'm going to prefer that, but it does mean that like the bottom 2 sections will be the more decorative sections. So I don't know. We'll see. So next week I'm gonna try being a little bit more consistently organized in that. And then I will see how I feel after this next week about the 3 sections, because I know that there are some people that use it for sort of like morning, afternoon, evening 3 sections, or like events, tasks, and then whatever else. So like I'm trying to kind of figure out what works for me in vertical planning, because I think I've mentioned this before. Every agenda or planner that I received growing up, because they were like handed out at school as part of our like study aid stuff, they were all horizontal planners. And so I am very used to horizontal planning and not vertical planning. So I'm attempting to figure out how to do this. Plus, I'm not like 100%. I don't really like the time block thing. The not time block, but like the hours down the vertical side. So I have deliberately not like labeled any of these as time frames because I don't work well with that. Something in my brain goes, oh, you want me to do this exactly at this time? I'm just not going to do it then. My brain is rebellious. What can I say? So that's kind of how that's going. But I mean, you know, I have like all these sticker books. If I don't use them, then what did I get them for? So I'm attempting to be more decorative in my in this planner. Attempting. We'll see. So that's just how my brain is happening today. So I did get some work done. And I wrote a couple notes about the couple that is the couple that I think of when I pull the sword cards. So I took a couple notes for them, and then I started working on some of the prompts for the summer world building summer camp. I don't know why that's difficult for me to say, but there it is. So, alrighty. Let's see how y'all are doing. Elizabeth was a little stuck. You found out your manuscript is going to be a lot bigger than you had planned on. You were aiming for 75K, and you are about halfway through, and you were already at 50K. So, yeah, you might have some editing to do, some rearranging, or you might have to adjust your original plan, or editing is going to be interesting. So, and Kai has a recommendation for Megan, The Madonnas of Leningrad. It's a really good book about a mother with Alzheimer's. Nice. That might be perfect for what Megan wants then. CB says, just had dinner. You're going to make an ice cream sundae shortly. Yes, because it's the 4th of July. You always do that and watch The Celtic Tiger on Michael Flatley show. Gotcha. Hello, Tanya. Yes, the typos abound today, for sure. For me, anyway. Hopefully not for y'all, but yes. And Megan says, no, but that's exactly what you've been looking for the research. Yes, good. Lucy is here. Hello. Happy 4th. Happy 4th to you as well. And hopefully you are celebrating by having some fun with writing. Megan says, I left a lot of details out of your outline, and drafting you is regretting past you's decision. Yeah, that's always, we're always leaving more problems for our future self rather than addressing the problem in the time that we have. But that's human nature. So CB says, I have some scratch paper handy to jot down questions while you're, have some, gotcha. Okay, Brian. CB has a suggestion to have some scratch paper handy to jot down questions while you are drafting. That way you don't get totally bogged down in research when you should be writing. That is a good suggestion. I like that. And Kalante got 575 words for 15 minutes. Wow. Dang, y'all are like pedal to the metal today. Christina says, just editing a chapter before you move on. Excellent. And Courtney also got a huge number for 15 minutes. 472 words. Nice. 420. Nice. Scene is almost done. Excellent. Y'all are, those are awesome numbers. Mallory says, working on all new scenes, and your main character is finally beginning the training she knew was coming from the beginning of the book. Nice. Okay, so Elizabeth, because of the size of the in progress, is wondering if you should re-outline, but unsure how that would affect the story. Also, you like how your outline is now. I would say continue writing. You may just want to be a little bit more concise if that is something, like if you have found yourself as you are writing using more descriptive terms, or if you have already discovered your clutch words or some of them, you might want to be a little bit more cognizant of that as you are writing, just to cut down a little bit on word count. Perez is here, 2,346 words. You have already finished your writing goal for the day. Yay! That means anything else you get is bonus. Awesome. Kai says, I browsed the World Anvil for prompts and came up with a perfect one that helped explain the history of one of the countries without it being overtly expositional. Nice. That is good. Yeah. Kalante says, shoot, I gotta finish my bujo for this month. Thanks for reminding you. You're welcome. You'll be working on it during the next sprint. Excellent. Kai got started a little bit on the next scene. Not sure about it, though. Needs a little playing around with. Yes. And Daya got 672. Nice for chapters 9, 10. That's excellent. Yes, I like CB's tip as well, Megan. You tried to get some words in, you got a few, but then you got stuck in the middle of a sentence and the dogs wanted to go outside, so you got distracted. Kalante is super finishing to chapter 16 of your fanfic, and then you're going to write chapter 26, which is the final one. Yeah, sometimes I have known quite a few people who say that they do that. They start at the end so that they know what they are writing towards. And this happens a lot, I think, for mystery writers as well, is they sometimes will write the ending first, like being the very first thing that they write is the end of it, and that way they can fully know what the end is, so that they can then seed all the foreshadowing and clues in. Which I have not tried this, but I might try it at some point with like a short story mystery, if I can manage that, because everything I write turns out to be extremely long. Seb is here. Hello, you just arrived. You're going to write some more of your fanfic, but you just got a cut on your finger. Oh no! So you don't know how well that will work out. Band-Aid, hopefully. Like maybe smear some antibacterial ointment on it and Band-Aid. Perez says, favorite writer. So this is sometimes a different question from favorite author, because in this case, screenwriter or playwright could also work, as well as poet. And I don't know, I'm gonna have to think about this one. So, because there are just so many, and that's the problem, is there's so many. I'm terrible at choosing, so you'll probably get like 5 answers from me. Elizabeth says, oh yeah, if I time code my tasks, then I will miss a little bit of an hour and give up, because then that hour is wasted. Yeah. Perez says, what is the saddest book you've ever read, because you are writing a sad book at the moment? Most of these are going to be nonfiction books, and a lot of them are more of like the memoir or biography type, because generally when I read, I would like to read to escape, and so I want a happy ending. So I typically do not search for books with sad endings, and if the overwhelming vibe of the story is sad and depressing, then I am much more likely to DNF it, because that's just, I don't read necessarily for catharsis, which I know that there are some people that do, and that's one of the reasons why these books are majorly successful. But in general, I do not read for catharsis, for of the sadder emotions, I guess. Speak is a really good book, and it is in some ways sad, but the overall, like, the vibe of the book is overcoming, and learning to speak and having your voice back. So while it does delve into sort of like having your voice stripped from you, and the heavy emotions that come from sexual assault, it is at the end, a hopeful and positive book towards the end. Sort of like the saddest books that I've ever read are the ones that do not have that hope at the end. So this is not to categorize or generalize, but there are certain British books that the characters in them just wind up enduring, and like, they're not happy, terrible things have happened to them, their emotions are broken, and yet they choose to remain in the situation, or there is no other option but to remain in the situation that they have currently existed in. And so they just, like, the book ends with this, like, and this is how it's going to be from now on, and it's just this terrible sense of nothingness, and I find those extremely sad. So, and I'm getting very distracted by the chat, I'm sorry. But yes, Speak by Laurie Halse Anderson is a book that I think everyone should read. So, CB got your ice cream. Next. Nice. Yes, that guy says, enjoy it. Kalanta says, I use Write or Die, and I also outlined every single chapter beforehand, and now it's super easy for you to write. That's awesome. You think you have a few chapters coming up that does not really further the plot, which you can cut down. That's good. That is good. And CB says, the Sunday was great. Excellent. And Alyssa is here. Hello. Welcome. Welcome. Yes. Okay, so already got a Band-Aid, but somehow it's more difficult to write with. Yes. Yeah, it always sort of like changes how, yeah, typos and also holding pens or pencils. Just says the saddest book that you've ever read. Are they both book thief, and they both die at the end. Spoilers. Yeah. There's just, yeah. I know This Much Is True by Wally Lamb is a devastating book. It's also one of your favorites. Yeah. And there are some books that, although they are sad and devastating, they stay with you because the story up to that point is so good and the death is meaningful. Those are, in general, like, I can read them and I can appreciate them, but I will not, I don't count them as my favorites. But that's just how I read. So Cyrano de Bergerac is also very sad. Okay. Little Women was the saddest book that you ever read. And then Batista Unleashed, because he talks about Eddie Guerrero and Chris Benoit. Miriam says, I'm willing to put up with sadness and anguish as long as there's a happy ever after. Yeah, and that's my thing. It's like, I need a happy ending. They both die at the end by Adam Silvera. Absolutely wrecked me. Yeah, and like the thing is, you kind of go in knowing because of the title. So you've read sad or nonfiction books, but for fiction, that's one of the ones that comes to mind. Yeah. Order of the Phoenix and Deathly Hallows got you towards the end, but amazingly, Half-Blood Prince didn't. I stopped reading Harry Potter in the middle of the series, like, gasp, I know, sacrilege. But I just, and I was in high school at the time when they came out. And so the fourth book I read, and then the fifth book came out. And as I was reading the fifth book, I was like, I get it. I hear enough of this angst and crap and drama at school. Like, I don't want to read more of it. And so I put it down. And my friend, who is like absolutely in love with the series, is a real Potterhead. I just texted her the next day. I was like, just tell me what happens at the end. So she did. So, and I have not picked it up since then. Like, I've seen the movies, but I have not picked it up since then. So CB says, my computer goofed and you ended up posting a comment about the Sunday twice. It's fine. Yeah, it's fine. Kaya says to CB, you always remember your brother playing his guitar in another room whilst you read the end of Half-Blood Prince, and you think due to the atmosphere, you cried your eyes out. Gotcha. I have not. So I need to see this apparently. But I will write this down because, yeah, need to see it apparently. Audiobook for Half-Blood Prince was worse. Yeah, I just Seb says, I read Harry Potter and didn't like it very much. You're glad you're not a fan. Yeah, because of Rowling's behavior. Okay, the 1950s version is on Amazon Prime and it's your favorite. Okay, nice. That'll make it easy for me to find then. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, they're so... You read part of book one in the Harry Potter series and you kind of liked it, but I'm not that much into the book series. Yeah. So my introduction to it was when my friend, who is the Potterhead, was reading it on the bus beside me. I kind of like peeked over and was like reading passage, and the hat was talking to Harry, and I was like, there's a talking hat? What is going on? Like, is this kind of like Alice in Wonderland? Like, what's... So that was my introduction to Harry Potter, my very first introduction to it. Kind of like my introduction to One Piece was when I walked into a friend's dorm room, and her roommate, who also became a good friend, had on One Piece, and it was the scene where Luffy essentially bazookas himself into the restaurant in the desert because he's hungry and he smells meat, and he smacks into both his brother and Captain Smoker. And I was just like, what is this? So thankfully for me, I enjoy One Piece much more than Harry Potter, and One Piece is still going, so I still have plenty to read and watch. All right, y'all, I have been chatting for far too long. Let's do another sprint, and I think I'm going to go ahead and make this a 30-minute one because we have been chatting for a while, so we'll go a little bit longer than our normal, and we will also make sure that this is our self-promo sprint. So if you have something that you would like to promote, please feel free to. Just remember that if you do not have a blue wrench of power, you will not be able to post direct links. Okay, I have it ready to share this time. All right, so same background, same quote, just longer. So don't forget to save. Don't forget to hydrate. Make sure that you straighten your spine and roll your shoulders back for a posture check. And make sure that if you need a break, take a break. Okay? We're going to go 30 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! how are we? How we do? I think I have finished this. Yes, I have finished this section. So cool. Don't forget to save. I did a little bit of handwriting and a little bit in the in one of the camp prompts. I got what did I get? That was 336 words. So definitely a lot lower than I would normally have for a 30-minute sprint. But the one thing that's nice is that so with the World Anvil World Building Summer Camp prompts, they have to be 300 words or more. And so things that you hadn't necessarily considered, you have to kind of consider and think about how they necessarily tie into your other pieces of information and whatnot. So like a building associated with healing the sick is the first prompt. So of course you can talk about a hospital or an infirmary or like the healer's house or whatever it is that you have that is a building associated with healing. But then like you can't just say, oh, it's a hospital. Well, you kind of have to think about, because of the word count issue, how it's related, whose territory it's in, who's it going to serve, what kind of medical equipment might it have or might it be lacking, that is going to interplay into your plot. And so I was filling out this information based on the infirmaries that would be in the chimera dens. And so what's the location within the den of where this infirmary should be? Why is it there? Is the healer's house attached to it? Yes. But if it's a big enough infirmary, big enough den, then you would have more than one healer. So do they all live in that attached house? No, just the head healers. And so just kind of like expanding on those ideas and sort of like, well, which types of machinery and technology would the chimeras stock in their infirmary? There are some basic things that would be pretty normal to have, but then you wouldn't necessarily have like a full MRI or CAT scan bay. So, but on the other hand, you might need something that's equivalent. So what kind of technology should I be creating in this world that allows them to do the equivalent of what an MRI scan or a CAT scan would do, without having to build an entire like bay for it? And so how do those work? How do those function? Sort of like, so it all kind of like, you have to think about these things. And so, and then in the case of mine, the infirmaries are also built to be shelters in case of attack or natural disasters. So if they are meant to house and shelter the vulnerable and the young, then there also needs to be a secondary escape. So like things like that. So that's one of the fun things about the world building summer camp, is that it does force you to think about things that you hadn't necessarily considered. Because I had forgotten that about the secondary tunnels and whatnot. So yeah, so just kind of have to do things, figure it out, add more to the story. So all right, don't forget the second sprint was the self-promo sprint. So make sure that if you would like to promote something, pop it in the chat. Okay, so we were talking about Harry Potter. yeah, and you can love Harry Potter the story, you can love the work, and not support J.K. Rowling herself and her views, because she does, yeah, and she does have so much reach that it's scary, yeah, because she can influence people, and that's the scary thing, and that's one of the things I've never really appreciated about certain fandoms, or the way that some fans follow like an actor or a singer, and that they put them on such a pedestal that they are blinded to the things that that person is doing that are not good or right or ethical or moral or any of that. And they choose willfully to ignore it. So I don't like that about fandoms, certain fandoms. CB says, I didn't like the first 3 movies at all. Okay. Yeah. Alan Rickman just is amazing. So Miriam was halfway done with the border, so you hoped that you could join during that sprint. I hope so. Hope you made it. Okay, so Megan says, have you seen my piece from the Pride and Prejudice anthology? It's short and sweet, and there is the link to it. And you can watch the entire Pride and Prejudice anthology playlist. There it is. And CB says, I am Pepperoni Fan, 1982, on fanfiction.net, and on Archive of Our Own, I believe. And you have 18 one-shots there. CB is headed out for a bath. Megan says, have you checked out the latest chronic illness and disability tag video? It was uploaded just a couple of days ago, and there's the link for the playlist. And Devin has the link tree for all of Devin's amazing socials and more live streams for you. Kalante says, I have 2 self-published books on Amazon called Even More Brutally Honest by Lilia Marie Hansen and Short Stories by Kalante Mavis. I also post Sims 2 videos on my YouTube channel. Kalante got 328 words, but didn't have much motivation. Oh no. CB says, my stomach is really irritated because I had licorice. Oh no. So I'm not sure if you're going to be able to keep writing tonight. Well, I hope you feel better. And maybe don't eat licorice anytime soon again. And Sako is here. Hello. Welcome. Thanks for dropping in from the ceiling. Megan says, I got a lovely 111 words, a perfect number. Yes. Perfect number indeed. And Miriam was finally able to write. You got 450 words. Yay! And this also means you finished the border on your baby blanket, which is also awesome. Hooray! Elizabeth says, no idea how many words, as you jumped and added stuff in different scenes, and you made tea and a snack. Excellent. That's wonderful. Cecilia says, hi, I jumped in near the end of the sprint, so only a few words so far. That is perfectly fine. Welcome. And I hope that the rest of your writing goes as well. So, Petra finished editing the chapter. Woohoo! Yay! And Laura is here. Hello. Welcome. Our lovely Laura. Yes. Kalante says, I just got defeated on Mobile Legends. Bang, bang. I think I know why you're not motivated. You have been distracted. You have been very distracted. Miriam requests another 30 minutes. I'm on board with that if y'all are. I am perfectly fine with another 30 minutes. That'll give me time to hopefully get another full prompt done. Let's do this one. Actually, let's do this one. I lied. I changed my mind. Slide it down to 30 minutes. Ooh, so close. Okay, now we have it at 30 minutes exactly, which y'all couldn't see because I did not share the button. All right, we're going with the Helen Keller one from HK. All right, so this is, again, another 30 minutes. So this is slightly longer than a Pomodoro. So please feel free if you need to get up, walk around, stretch, grab a snack, etc. Make sure you're doing that because you need to make sure to take care of yourself as you're writing. So save. Go ahead and save your document. Take a sip of whatever you are supposed to be hydrating with. Straighten your spine and roll your shoulders back for a posture check. Make sure that you are not hunching. And 4, make sure that if you need that break, take it. Okay? 30 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Oh, I'm very out of focus. Maybe. Sort of. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so I am struggling a bit with the World Anvil, like actually properly submitting the things for the summer camp, because I was typing it over in Word, and then I copy pasted it, and that appears to not be acceptable. Like, you have to actually type it into the box. So yeah, so I've got to figure that out, because I really don't want to I don't want to have to type it over again. Oh, okay. So now it sees, okay, it says it's eligible, but still a draft. Okay. Okay. Let's fix it then. No, shoot. Save changes. Okay, there we go. Okay, I think I've officially submitted that one. Yay. Okay, but I did get done with another prompt. So that is awesome. Got done with that. Okay, so it seems to have accepted it. Fantastic. Okay. How many words was that? I don't know. 400 or something like that. Close to, anyway. So I'm attempting to write these articles as if there's some sort of like scholar or historian who is like recording some of this. And I guess his character is coming through a little bit, and I'm not sure if I want him to do that. I mean, I don't know who he is. Just we'll see. He may actually appear in the stories at some point. Who knows? But yeah, so how was that for y'all? I hope those were 30 minutes that were at least, that were either productive or entertaining for you, one or the other. So Elizabeth says, I won't be able to live stream on Thursday, so you're going to move it to a different day, perhaps Saturday. Gotcha. And Monique is here. Hello, happy Captain America Day. Yes, exactly. Happy Captain America Day. And Nicolante got 552 words. Nice. And you were only 2K away from reaching the middle of your story, which is great. That's like amazing progress, especially to only be on the 4th day of the month, and you're already halfway through, or close to, which is great. Miriam says 445 words. 30 minutes seems to be the magic number for you tonight. Excellent. Megan says, I got stuck. I wanted to show a fragmented memory, but I'm not sure how I want to do it, and I'm trying to be good to my future self and get it done now. I don't know if you would necessarily want to describe it as if sort of like searching in your mind for what, like a word that you want and coming up blank, and that frustration of like almost being able to feel it in your mouth, being able to know that it at least starts with a consonant, or that it starts with a certain letter or whatever. So that sort of like frustration and feeling like it's almost there, but it's not fully formed. It's like there's some sort of fog or blank, or as if somebody had erased part of something. So you could turn that into, rather than just a word, whether or not it would be like an entire memory or a person's face or what their job is, or just whatever it is that they should know or should be able to visualize, perhaps, and just coming up with like a blank, or knowing that it was at a particular location, but you can't remember where. Like if it was, at the library or at the office or where. So like that feeling of almost grasping it, the feeling of it almost being concrete enough to see. And then one of the things when I do is when I can't remember where, like I put my keys or something, I try to visualize where it was that I last had it. And so I will visualize myself like walking in the door and kind of like moving around. But then when I sort of like, I hit a blind spot and I'm like, I can't remember what I did next. And so then I'll like try and go back and visualize again from the beginning of like walking in the door. So it's kind of like a broken record. So I don't know if you would want to describe it in those manners, but that could be a thing. Sharon says 253, a record for you in a long time. Nice. That's awesome. I love it when like you feel like you can finally get back on the bicycle and ride, I guess. Cecilia says 398 words. Nice. Excellent. Elizabeth got 427, and that went by so fast. You are on a roll as well. Nice. Kai did some research for how you want some of the islands in this country to look. Excellent. This would also, perhaps, depending on how you have your world arranged, you might want to look at where the equator is versus where these islands are located. I say equator, but equator and poles, because you kind of need to know that, because temperature and the location of the island in regards to equator and poles is going to dictate the temperature, which is going to dictate what kind of plant life, produce, and animals are going to be able to live on said island. So I'm assuming that's kind of the research that you're trying to do. Christina says 500-ish words. Nice. That's an excellent number. Kate is here. Hello, hello. Coming in super late today. That's okay. We're glad you're here. Alrighty. So, should we continue and do another 30 minutes? That would take us to about 4:45, and that would leave us 15 minutes to sort of like maybe chat a little bit and do like a 5 or 10 minute sprint at the end. So if we wanted a longer sprint at the end, we could knock this one down to about 25. So 25 or 30, what is your poison of choice? While I find a timer. Okay, Kai says it's going to be near the equator. Such a headache figuring everything out. Well, if it's near the equator and it is a planet setup that is similar to the world we live on now, that would be the warmer or more tropical type of island. Possibly whether or not you want it to be an active or inactive volcanic island could be up to you. Do. Okay, everybody seems to be voting for a 30, so we will pull up the 45 and scroll it down to 30. Close enough. Close enough. Share. All right. So Kate, if you wanted to make sure that you go get a cup of tea or something in the first 5 minutes, maybe spend it stretching, you could definitely do that, or in the middle, wherever you like. So, and then everybody's like 30, 30, 30, 30. So, yes. Okay, so we will do this for 30 minutes. Let me get it back down to the 00. Here we go. All right, so save your document. Make sure that you have something to hydrate with. Make sure that you straighten your spine and roll your shoulders back for a posture check. And make sure that if you need a break, because we have been here for a while, make sure you take a break. And all right, we are ready to go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. All right, that was the 4th sprint. How'd you do? I was working on some handwriting, hand jotting some stuff down. And I think, yeah, between that and the digital, I have hit my low end goal for the day. So that's nice. And I've done that, so I can check that off the list. Yeah, so I mean, it's been a pretty productive day despite like not having like a huge word count. I've still managed to get quite a bit done. I can check that off the list too. So I've got 2 more things that need to be done today, and then if I want to hit the like stretch goal, that will happen in the process of those 2 things. So that's good. That means that today is on track. So no real bonus words just yet, but on track is good. So, all right, how'd we do? How did we do? Okay, so Kai is looking at pictures of Samoa now, and you want to go. Yes. Lizzie says, I haven't been watching childhood shows instead of writing. What are you talking about? Yeah. That happens. And also, happy 4th of July. And CB says, I'm watching The Golden Girls, so no, don't feel bad about it, Lizzie. It's fine. Miriam says, best sprint ever. And also, hello to Lizzie. And Kalante got over 600 words that time. Nice. Probably about 610. I think I managed somewhere in the realm of 550 that time, like roundabouts, because I was estimating handwritten. Yes, that sprint did. Those 30-minute sprints felt like they were going by rather quickly today, but I think that's because like I actually was decently focused, because there are some times where 25 minutes feels like an eternity, let alone 30. So Elizabeth says, and suddenly I was at the 1,600 words for the day. Wow, how did that happen? Yeah, because your goal was 750, I think. So you've been making lots of progress, which is awesome. And Sharon is here. Hello, 144. Very nice. Oh, I think I closed that. I was going to share that, but where are we? Not that one. This one. Okay. Kai says, I got some really good world building done today. Thanks for the sprints. You're welcome. Lizzie deleted 27 words in a document title since you decided you needed a better system to get you to actually plan your books. Gotcha. Yes, amazing to Elizabeth for that high word count. Kate says, I only wrote 70 words, but I edited 2 different scenes. Not a bad start. Yes, exactly. Yeah, and I'm glad to have met the goal, because there are days where I know that just everything feels like in my brain it's falling apart. And so I'm like, I can't concentrate. So it's whenever I can actually meet my goals, I'm happy. Kalante says, thanks for the sprint. You're pretty much done with another chapter. Awesome. Getting closer and closer to your goal. And Megan got some good thinking done this sprint, but no words, but good thinking is awesome. So Cecilia added 251 words and deleted 69 previous words. Yeah. Miriam got 475 that time. You just need 178 words to meet today's nano goal. That is amazing. And I'm sure that you can absolutely do that. Okay, so I spent some time not during that sprint, but the previous sprint. Let me share the screen. Where are we? This one. Yes. So I am working, here's the World Anvil site, and I'm on the check my progress for the summer camp. So you can see that I've finally figured out how to submit the articles. Should I make it bigger? How do I make it? There we go. Sort of. So I've plugged in my information on the building dealing with healing. I have plugged in a medical condition that scares some people, as well as a technological advance or breakthrough in regards to this particular condition. But this doesn't necessarily have to be linked. It's just, it was for me. I have not yet done a species of working animal, or the ethnicity whose cultural exports are highly sought after, or any of the other ones. There are a couple of these that once you have one, it could definitely be linked to another. So for me, these three could have been completely linked, because if you have a medical condition, you would need someplace to cure it or research it. And then over here would be the technology or the breakthrough that would occur possibly in this healing place. And can y'all even see my mouse? Probably not. I don't know. But anyway, so these three could totally be linked. As can these three down here. So you have an area or geographical landmark wrapped in myth, legend, or superstition. So this is asking specifically for the geography, like where is it? So this would be setting. Then you have a myth about mountain, lake, cave, or other landmark. So here you have what the setting is, so you can do the full description if you want. And here you have the myth about it. And then over here you have a myth or fairy tale about a prophecy, oracle, fortune telling, or other revelation. So this could also be sort of like a secondary myth related to this particular location. So these three tie together very nicely. And as sort of like a secondary tie-in, the festival to celebrate whatever this oracle or prophecy possibly related to a celestial body. So all of these are really linked together, and it's kind of nice to see that. I already have some ideas for this ethnicity with the cultural exports. I have kind of a vague idea about a working animal that I could use. The extraordinary writing tool, or a type of writing tool, I'm not entirely certain about. I might go more along the lines of sort of like, what is the technological advancement in smartphones for this one, which could also double as a writing tool or a writing assistant. I'm not sure. So these are the 10 prompts that are available thus far. So here's the, oh, that's an ad. That is not what I wanted. Well, let's see if I refresh it. There we go. Okay. Share the screen again. Okay. Nope, it did not. Here we go. Okay. So this was, I was trying to do them from down here, and you have to actually you have to essentially click write prompt in the check your progress page rather than this page. So that was where I was having trouble. So these are the 10 that are available at the moment. And then they have some information down here about how to submit it. And that was sort of like what I was missing, which is, I'm sure, why they wrote this much about how to submit it. And I just kind of passed it because that was what my brain said to do. Anyway, so I will post this link over in the chat in case you are interested. I just have a free account. I don't have, nope, view world. There we go. So this is my sort of like introduction to Chimera Moon. And then like down here is where the articles have been put for right now. I don't know. I'll see how about, I still am a newbie for this. If you want information on how to use it, they do have a YouTube channel, and you can definitely ask Charlie. I'm just kind of exploring it whenever I feel like it, which, to be honest, since I'm a lazy butt, I don't do very often. So, but yes, this is essentially where you would create your world building, and there's places for maps, and they have resources for that they appreciate and like for world building guides, as well as maps and things, like their best map generator type of software and or website stuff. So I'm enjoying it. Yeah. It's also kind of fun to try and take a step back and try and figure out how I want to phrase things, and how I might need to explain something to somebody, even if like all of these words would not necessarily appear in the story itself. Like I still need to know some of this information, so in case it is useful. So there's lots of things here. And so the first 10 prompts are already out, and I don't know if it's on Monday or if it's going to be on Thursday that the second set of 10 is going to be released. I have to go look at it again because I don't remember. But essentially, like there are 31 prompts. So maybe it's every 10 days. Yeah. So you get, I think it is 10 days. Every 10 days you get 10 new prompts. Anyway, and there are prizes to be had, etc., etc. I am not in any way, shape, or form like paid by these people. It's an interesting thing that Charlie introduced us to last year, and I have been attempting to use it on and off, and I am stymied by my own laziness of learning how to use it. So there you go. But it is relatively, now that I know how to do it, it is relatively easy to do the summer camp submission things. Elizabeth says, now I have some words to spare in Nano in case I have a day off. Yes, you're going to get the first shot of the vaccine tomorrow, so you might need it. Yay. I don't think oftentimes most people don't have like much of a reaction to the first one other than a sore arm, but the second one is more of like the one that I have seen people have reactions to. Lizzie says, thanks for the stream, even though I daydreamed the whole time. Yes. Yes, the World Anvil is quite fun. Kai says, I didn't have any effects from the first, but the second one. Yeah. Yep. It is in depth. There is a lot there to be had and to be explored, so it's quite fun. So it would be great for keeping all the information for your mermaid trilogy that you're finally starting to world build on it. Yes, it would be. And Miriam is now in love with it. So yes, Charlie is the Oracle. I think Charlie has Sage status, which is pretty darn impressive. So Lizzie says, I have had an account for almost a year and haven't touched it. So maybe now's the time. Kai says, I always mean to use it, but it intimidates me. I do go on. When you do go on, it's always really useful. Yeah, it's fun. Again, like when I get off my lazy butt and like try and use it. And so that's kind of what's fun about it, is that it's always discovering things. Lizzie says, my only world is We Forgot About Christmas. And you're also a part of Fried Brain Town. You remember? Yes. Yes, you are. Fried Brain Town is still daredom sometimes. Kate says, thanks for hosting. You're welcome. You are very welcome. You can even use it for your contemporary romances. Yes, you can. It is quite useful in a lot of ways. So alrighty, I feel like I've been productive today, and so that's always a good feeling. And I will be back Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 1 to 3 p.m. and Sunday 2 to 5 p.m. So I've already got those scheduled and up for next week. So hopefully we can continue with this awesome productivity and get some more writing done. So that's the goal. And hopefully move some of these sticker things down for the quarter, which we have just started, but still it'd be nice. All right. So thank you very much. Don't forget to save and have fun. Let me copy Devin's playlist. Copy, paste. Morgan, I think Morgan's streaming today. Oh, yeah. Yes, Morgan is streaming right now, so you have a place to go. All right, so happy 4th of July, everybody, and happy Sunday if you don't celebrate it, and I will see y'all soon. Bye.